Hey guys, welcome back to TouchTrove. Today we're diving deep into some major Windows news. Microsoft has officially released Windows 11 version 25H2, and the good news is, the RTM ISO media is now available for direct download from Microsoft's servers. That means no waiting around, no insider restrictions, and most importantly, safe verified files straight from Microsoft. Now, if you've been following Windows updates for a while, you know how big a deal this is. The release of an RTM build, also known as release to manufacturing, is basically Microsoft saying, okay, this version is final, it's stable, and it's ready to ship on new PCs. Fun fact, even though Microsoft doesn't really use the term RTM publicly anymore, inside the industry, it's still the go-to term for these milestone releases. And with version 25H2, we've officially hit that milestone with build number 26200.6584, the new golden standard for Windows 11 going forward. What's new with Windows 11 25H2? Now here's where things get interesting. You might be expecting a wave of brand new flashy features, but Microsoft has actually confirmed that 25H2 and 24H2 are functionally identical in terms of features. That's right. Both versions share the same servicing pipeline, update channel, and feature rollout. So, if a new feature drops for 25H2, it will also arrive on 24H2. This also means app compatibility, drivers, and overall performance should remain consistent across both builds. Why release a whole new version then? Well, Microsoft has shifted its update strategy. Instead of always dropping massive feature overhauls, it now uses these yearly milestone releases as stability anchors. For OEMs like Dell, HP, Lenovo, Asus, and IT departments, it's crucial to have a clean final version they can preload on devices and deploy across networks. That's exactly what 25H2 is all about. A long-term, stable build designed for 2025 and beyond. ISO availability in 38 languages. The ISO files for Windows 11 version 25H2 are available in a whopping 38 languages, and they cover Home, Pro, and Education editions. For x64 systems, like Intel and AMD, the average file size sits around 7 GB, while the ARM64 versions, meant for Snapdragon-powered laptops, come in slightly smaller at about 6.6 to 6.8 GB. This means no matter where you live, or what device you're running, there's likely a perfect ISO for you. Whether it's English, US or UK, German, Spanish, French, Arabic, Chinese, or even smaller regional languages like Estonian and Slovenian, Microsoft has ensured global coverage. Another bonus here, since these are direct Microsoft-hosted files, you're guaranteed authentic, unmodified ISO media. That's a huge plus compared to random third-party sites where files could be tampered with. Installation methods. So how do you use these ISOs? Well, you've got two main options. Clean installation. This is when you completely wipe your system and start fresh with a brand new copy of Windows 11 version 25H2. Perfect if your system has slowed down, you're building a new PC, or you just like that fresh OS feeling. Upgrade installation. If you're already running Windows 11 version 24H2, you don't even need the ISO unless you want it. Microsoft also offers enablement packages, which are tiny updates that flip your system to 25H2 without a full reinstall. Much faster, much easier, and zero data loss. For power users, though, downloading the ISO is the best choice. You can create bootable media using tools like Rufus or Microsoft's own media creation tool, and keep that USB handy for future troubleshooting or fresh installs. Why 25H2 matters? Now you might be asking, if 25H2 has no new features compared to 24H2, why should you even care? Here's the thing, stability and long-term support. Windows 11 version 25H2 is essentially Microsoft's 2025 flagship build. That means all OEMs will start shipping devices with this version preloaded. It also ensures that any future features, bug fixes, and security updates will be tested and released against this build first. If you're someone who likes being aligned with the latest Microsoft roadmap, whether you're a gamer, developer, IT admin, or just a curious enthusiast, having 25H2 installed puts you ahead of the curve. Build number 26200.6584i. Want to highlight this once more. The official build number for version 25H2 is 26200.6584. This is what you'll see in the WinVer dialog box once you're upgraded. It's always good to know because it makes troubleshooting, compatibility checks, and update tracking much easier. Security and compatibility. Since there are no major feature changes between 24H2 and 25H2, there are also no new compatibility risks. Apps, drivers, and peripherals that worked on 24H2 will work on 25H2 without issues. But Microsoft has been heavily focusing on AI integration and ARM optimization. So if you're on a Snapdragon-powered laptop, you might notice smoother performance in the long run with the ARM64 builds. Windows 11 version 25H2 is the latest milestone build of Microsoft's flagship operating system. The build number to remember here is 26200.6584. This is what's called an RTM build, or release to manufacturing. That basically means it's the finalized version that Microsoft sends to PC makers like Dell, HP, and Lenovo so they can preload it on brand new devices. Even though Microsoft doesn't use the word RTM in public anymore, the industry still knows this as the golden build that marks the start of a new update cycle. Official ISO files in 38 languages. One of the most exciting parts of this release is that the official ISOs are now live on Microsoft's servers. These aren't insider builds, they're not leaked files. They're the real deal. And the best part? You can grab them in 38 different languages. Whether you want English, German, Spanish, Arabic, French, Chinese, Japanese, or even regional languages like Estonian, Slovenian, or Ukrainian, Microsoft has covered nearly every major region. The file sizes vary slightly. x64, Intel, AMD PCs, around 7 GB. ARM64, Snapdragon laptops, around 6.6 to 6.8 GB. This means anyone, anywhere in the world, can now install Windows 11 25H2 on their device with an official, verified ISO. How to use the ISO so? What can you do with this ISO file? Well, there are two main ways. Clean install. If your PC feels sluggish, or you just want to start fresh, a clean install wipes your drive and installs Windows 11 version 25H2 from scratch. This gives you a brand new system without leftover junk files. Tools like Rufus or the Media Creation tool make this process super easy. Upgrade installation. If you're already on Windows 11 version 24H2, you don't really need to reinstall. Instead, Microsoft provides enablement packages, which upgrade your PC from 24H2 to 25H2 in minutes. All your apps, drivers, and files remain intact. For tech enthusiasts and IT professionals, keeping an ISO handy on a USB stick is always useful, especially for troubleshooting or setting up multiple PCs, features, and what's new in 25H2 now? Here's where some people might be disappointed. Windows 11 version 25H2 doesn't actually introduce new features over 24H2. Microsoft has confirmed that both versions share the same servicing channel and update pipeline. In other words, any feature built for 25H2 will also arrive on 24H2. Performance, drivers, and compatibility remain the same. No app or hardware issues are expected between the two builds. So if they're the same, why even release 25H2? Why Microsoft release 25H2? Anyway, this comes down to Microsoft's update strategy. Instead of dumping huge new features once a year, Microsoft now uses milestone updates like 25H2 as stability anchors. Think of it this way. PC makers need a stable version to preload on new hardware. IT admins and businesses need a finalized build to roll out across hundreds of machines. Microsoft needs a fresh baseline build to continue testing future features. So while you may not see new toys in this release, behind the scenes it ensures Windows remains consistent, stable, and secure. Final thoughts. So here's the big takeaway. Windows 11 version 25H2 is officially out and available to download right now. The RTM ISOs are online in 38 languages for both x64 and ARM64 systems. No flashy new features, but complete stability, security, and long-term support. Perfect for clean installs, OEMs, IT professionals, and power users who want to stay ahead. Now the question is, will you upgrade right away or stick with 24H2 for now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you prefer the stability of waiting, or do you always jump on the latest builds? And as always, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to Touch Trove, and ring that bell so you never miss out on the biggest tech updates.